the Super Eagles of Nigeria, you've said the performance is not really, impressive. But considering it's a rebuilding process, the manager is new and all of that, you think this is something we can build on, especially playing against Sao Tome and Principe in about 4 days' time or 3 days' time, I beg your pardon?
Yes, it is something we can build on, but we have to, I think from the coach perspective, we know we have to improve very fast, because I'm looking at that side playing against Cameroon or Egypt or Senegal,
the top teams,
and going a goal down. It's you don't go on and win the match. It's very, very unlikely. On the strength of what we saw yesterday. On the strength of what we saw yesterday. So we have to improve very, very, very rapidly. Because AFCON next AFCON is 2023, and if we can't get it right and we can't get our team built up now, I'm not sure we're getting anything in
terms of winning the competition. Let's see. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, you would expect to be one of the favorites to contend, but last time out we finished in the second round, losing to a third place team, or one of the best, third place teams, talking about Tunisia, that lone goal defeat in the second round. This is a new dispensation. It's the OCP dispensation. Let's see how it pans out. Again, remember, you can win yourself tickets to your comedy show. It's over the span of 3 days, I beg your pardon, and that's starting from today, tomorrow, as well as Sunday. Simply follow us on our social media handles and, answer the question, who were the goal scorers for the Super Eagles of Nigeria yesterday, and you stand a chance to win, one of the tickets available. We're expecting more calls as the show goes on. And quickly, yes, we have to talk about other African Cup of Nations qualifiers. You had Morocco against South Africa. That was, a big match on paper. You had Egypt, surprisingly losing to Ethiopia by 2-0, but we're focusing on Morocco against South Africa. The Americans had this one, 2-1 it ended. A very close match. South Africa went ahead first, 4-star, but, the Americans just had that slight edge in edging it, especially the winner coming in 3 minutes from regulation time.
I think it will be a little bit disappointing for South Africa, for them going on and losing a match. Of course. But I think on South Africa's part, I think they have improved, because South Africa were not very good at some point. So I think going on to play a side like Morocco, we know has been very good, and Morocco struggling to have a win against South Africa. It shows that South Africa has been impressive and been improving.
As well. Okay, let's see how that pans out. Let's turn our attentions quickly now to UEFA Nations League. Portugal ran out, 2-0 winners over Czech Republic to top the group. In the same group as well, you have Spain, who notched up their first win. But Portugal against Czech Republic, you felt it was just as another routine win?
Yes, it's a little bit another routine win, but it's like the players are getting together and getting to know each other more, and I hope there is this team work, the team spirit should be there, because Portugal has a very, very good quality players, enough to even win the World Cup. But I think their teamwork has not been very, very good. I think that's one of the things that they should work on more. Going forward as a team.
Spain were in action as well, the same group as I said, and it was against Switzerland. They notched up their first win with Pablo Sarabia scoring once again for the Spanish national team. Spain, after 2 draws, finally getting the win. It seems Switzerland are the whipping boys of the group. All 3 matches lost. You think the Spanish team can still make the top 2?
They can, they can, but they have not been very, very convincing throughout the Nations League. So they can, but it's going to be on the edge, I'm seeing here.
Okay, let's turn our attentions now to the title holders, France. The French national team, the title holders, they're yet to get a win. Now, they're playing today against Austria. It's a must-win match for the French team. With Mbappe, with Benzema, you expect goals to flow, but it hasn't really flowed like we would have expected. What exactly is wrong with France?
I think too much of having too much of star players in the team sometimes can affect the team, and I think this kind of trend has happened since the Euros. Since the Euros, they went out the Euros woefully, not convincing at all.
But they won UEFA Nations League as well.
Oh yes, of course. They won UEFA. It's more of individual brilliance, not more of a collective work of winning as a team. So it's more of individual brilliance, and sometimes when those individuals are not at the best of their game, so they always lose out. So I hope they win against Austria, because Austria also having their new coach has somehow been being invigorated, and they have improved also. So France winning, it's going to be very hard for them.
And talking about the French group, it must be said that Denmark have 6 points. We have Austria, led by Ralf Rangnick, former Manchester United interim manager, with 3 points, while Croatia and France have a point. But Croatia are bottom of the table as a result of an inferior goal difference. So the next match definitely is that of Denmark against Croatia. For the Danish national team, they are the dark horses going into the World Cup, considering, you know, their form and performances over the last 1 year. You think it's a straightforward win for Denmark over Croatia?
It might not be a straightforward win. Looking at them, they don't. I'm not sure they really need a straightforward win to qualify. So, so it might not be a straightforward, because Croatia is going to come in fighting for 3 points, which I'm not sure they will get a 3 points. And probably they will get a draw, because Denmark has been very, very good this season. Denmark has been, I think, probably in the last 1 year that has been their best, because I think I talked about it, having them being a national team that has this collective teamwork. Of you can't really bring out, although Eriksen has been spectacular, but you can't really bring out that this is the best player of the. But they have this teamwork all around, from their defense to the midfield to the striking and the wingers. So I think Denmark as a whole, I see the match as a draw.
Talking about Everton Football Club, they've secured a new main partner agreement with Stake.com that will see the betting brand pay a £10 million per year deal to take on the main shirt sponsorship. That fee surpasses Everton's previous record for their shirt sponsorship, which was £9.6 million a year paid by Sportpesa between 2017 and 2020. The new long-term agreement, which kicks in from the start of the 2022-2023 season, covers the men's and women's teams, but due to Stake being a betting brand, it will not include the English club's youth sides. The deal does, however, also include other physical and digital assets. Now, Stake.com will replace Kazo as the Toffees' main sponsor after the club announced they would not be renewing their agreement with the UK online car retailer in March. Still talking about football clubs and various, shirt sponsorship deals, Dutch football giants Ajax have expanded their main shirt sponsorship agreements with domestic pay TV provider Ziggo. The newly announced partnership will see Ziggo's logo continue to feature on the front of Ajax shirts, while the company's GigaNet brand will now gain placement on the back during the Eredivisie and Cup fixtures from the start of the 2022-2023 season. Ziggo first partnered with Ajax in 2015, signing a reported €8 million a year deal before extending that agreement in 2019 and most recently in November last year. The deal also includes other physical and digital assets. Still talking football, business news, as well as shirt sponsorship, English top flight football club Newcastle United are in the market for a new front of shirt sponsor after negotiating an early release from their deal with Chinese sports betting brand Fun88. The Premier League outfit initially signed a deal with Fun88 in 2017 before inking a long-term extension with the firm in July 2020. The initial contract was reportedly worth in the region of £6.5 million per season. However, the pair have agreed to part ways after the 2022-2023 campaign. That will open the door for Newcastle United to secure a more lucrative main commercial sponsor following their takeover by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund last October. There have been speculations that the club will seek a pact with a larger Saudi company such as Saudi Airline, or energy firm Aramco. In December, a temporary ban on owner-related sponsorship deals in the Premier League was lifted, and although clubs are reportedly required to seek approval on deals worth more than £1 million, Newcastle are close to agreeing a deal with Botswana's tourist board for sleeve sponsorship this season. The club's previous agreement with travel search engine Kayak expired at the end of the 2021-2022 season. And finally, when it comes to keeping you abreast of sports business news, this year's Wimbledon tournament will have a record compensation for players, with winners of its 2 single championships taking home $2.5 million each. The record amount of cash up for grabs comes as Wimbledon plans to host full capacity crowds for the first time in 3 years at London's All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club. Total prize money will be $50.4 million, an 11% increase compared to 2021. It also represents a 5.4% increase from 2019's pre-pandemic tournament. Players who lose in the first round will pocket roughly £63,000, while runners-up of the two single championships will take home more than $1.2 million. Wimbledon will be played from the 27th of June to the 10th of July.